Welcome back to another video, everybody. Now, I made this with the intention of having it ready to go by Christmas. This is Christmas Eve, but you know, it's good for New Year's, which I know I also missed. But if there's a party coming up this weekend, this is really a good, nice, quick pie that comes together. You don't even have to bake anything, so the time that it takes to make it, plus the time that it takes you to let it set up in the refrigerator. I'll tell you what I used along the way. What you should not use is a lot of the sugary peanut butters. I'm using an all-natural peanut butter with no sugar added. The only ingredients is peanuts. And I'm using whipping cream instead of Cool Whip because, again, there's no sugar. Now this is the crust. So for the crust I used 1.5 cups of sandwich cookies crushed, and I just put those into the food processor and give them a spin. You want to pulse them a few times to get them broken up, and then you can let it run a little longer so that you get this nice fine cookie crumb. And while you're blending your cookies, you can use melt your butter, 6 tablespoons of butter, and the recipe should be down in the description. Once you get the cookie crumbs and the butter all mixed together, it's going to be kind of thick and pasty, so you're just going to kind of want to stir it up as best you can. Now I'm going to be using a 9-inch pie plate once again. I like using the glass pie plates because I don't have to worry about dulling the knife cutting in metal. Of course, glass can dull it too. But the pans that I have are no stick, and of course that no stick coating can come off of there if you're not careful. Now, one trick that I do with the graham cracker crust when I'm doing graham crackers is to use a measuring cup to flatten out the surface of the pie so it's a little bit more even. But the problem with that here is that it sticks. I don't know, I don't think there's such a thing as too much butter, but it is sticking onto the cup. So I'm going to try a little bit of powdered sugar, which also does not work. So I just eventually will give up and use my hands. Now I'm kind of stuck on the corner of the island because while I am making the peanut butter pie, Klaus is making Daddy's Christmas gift, which is a whole other video. They didn't turn out really good. Well, they turned out wonderful. They taste wonderful, but they just don't look really good. The recipe that we have is written in German and not metric system. And he didn't want to take the time to measure it out metrically, so they don't always transfer over if you don't do that. But you can see I abandoned the idea of the measuring cup and went for fingers. So you just want to keep pressing this in, and the whole thing does move as you start to press. Just make sure that you don't have any really thin little spots, and you want to press it up the side of that pie plate and try to make it as even as you can all the way around to form a nice crust. So now that we have our pie crust all nice and fitted into the pie plate, we're going to go ahead and put that in the refrigerator to cool down while we make our filling. Now this is 3 ounces of softened cream cheese. I took it out about an hour ago, so it's nice and soft. And to that we are going to add 3/4 cup of peanut butter. Now this is crunchy peanut butter, which does add kind of an interesting texture to the pie. But if you want, if you prefer, you can use creamy. Now I strongly recommend using an all-natural peanut butter or something that just has peanuts as the ingredient instead of having one of the big name brands that adds lots and lots of sugar and stabilizers and chemicals. Yeah, you got to stir it up a lot at the beginning and keep it refrigerated, but personally I think it's well worth it. And here comes the sugar. This is a half a cup of confectioners sugar. Yes, powdered sugar, not granular sugar. Now you don't have to add all of this sugar at once. In fact, I didn't. I think I actually ended up doing it because I did not add sugar as a stabilizer to the whipped cream when I made it. By the way, I forgot to mention that before you start this little project, you need to take 6 ounces of heavy whipping cream and put it in your mixer and just mix it until till you get soft peaks. Add a stabilizer. It can be sugar, it can be aspics or unflavored gelatin, but however, whatever it is that you want to do. I didn't put sugar in it. I put a little bit of aspics as a stabilizer to it so it didn't melt and weep. And so it's ready to go. So as you can see here, we just took our peanut butter, our powdered sugar, and our cream cheese, and I ran it through a blender to kind of mix it all up really quick. And here comes the whipped cream. So once you add your stabilizer, you go ahead and mix this up until stiff peaks form. Careful not to make butter. My mom's whipped cream, as much as I love her, was always a little on the runny side because she was always afraid of making butter, that it needed a lot more whipping in order to get to that stage. So again, this is only about 6 ounces of heavy whipping cream. I don't know what I think it's maybe 12 ounces of something you've already whipped, or if you want to buy something, but I'm always very careful so I do not make more sugar than necessary. Yes, it can be sweet, but there's a limit too. Now, the instructions do say to fold the cream into the peanut butter, which here I do, and it just kind of deflates the cream really quickly, and I never really get that smooth texture. So after this, I'm going to cheat just a little bit and get out the actual mixer and mix it all up so it whips some of that air back into it. It makes it nice and light and fluffy. You can see I'm kind of using the beaters on the handheld mixer to scrape the spatula. So it cleans off my spatula too. That's just kind of a neat little trick. So this is good for anybody who loves peanut butter. It's good for Christmas, it's good for New Year's, it's good for Valentine's Day. Any time that you want a little special something and you don't want to work at it too hard. Now it's the time to do a little bit of a taste test. So you can see here I got a spoon and I'm just taking a little taste. I want to make sure that I added enough sugar. I want it to be sweet, but I don't want to lose the flavor of the peanut butter. And it's just a little bit on the sweet side, but obviously I can't take the sugar out. So it's going to just stay the way it is. And there I just cleaned off the beaters. So just by turning it on and holding it into the bowl a little bit, it makes the beaters clean off nice and quick. Although not as much there for Klaus to lick. But that's okay. He'll get to eat the pie. And in fact, he ends up eating most of the pie, actually. So we took our crust out of the refrigerator. It's now nice and cool. And we're just going to scrape all that peanut buttery gooey goodness right into here. There we go. You want to make sure to get it all. You don't want any of it to go to waste. Although, with a teenager in the house, things seldom go to waste. They usually are pretty good at licking things clean. Almost as good as a puppy. But there's, of course, too much sugar in here for a puppy. I wouldn't do that to Kevin. Now take the time here to kind of smooth things out and really smooth it out and look nice. Here you want to get it right up across the edges, but try not to cover the crust if you can help that. Just because it makes it look a little bit better, I think. And here I'm going to cheat just a little bit. Normally I'd make more whipped cream and I would put it into a piping bag and make little stars on it. But it is Christmas Eve and there's a lot of things going on besides pie making and cookie making. I'm trying to keep Hal out of the kitchen, and Hal is outside working on getting one of our vehicles running. We really want to get it sold, and we got to make sure that it'll start and do what it's supposed to do. So I couldn't get on everything in the video at once. So yes, I'm using just a little bit of whipped cream in a can just to put a nice little border around here. And I don't show it in the video, but if you have any ice cream topping, chocolate preferably, although caramel does add a neat flavor to it as well, you can kind of drizzle chocolate and or caramel across the top of the pie and make it taste really, really good. So Klaus was fortunate enough to get a bag of chocolate kisses when he was given a gift at the Secret Santa, which was very nice. He got a bunch of candy, which is okay. Nothing wrong with that. And he graciously let me use some of the Hershey Kisses for my pie. So I told him I was just going to put a few around there. I was only going to put 8, but then I know my son, he would get a full 1/8 of a slice of pie, which might be a little too much sugar for any of us, so I decided that I was going to put a little extra in there. So I was trying to space them evenly. You start with your 4 points, and then you just kind of fill in between there, and you eyeball it, of course, to the best of your ability. Your very own peanut butter pie. Now just set this in the refrigerator for 2 to 4 hours, or you can set it in the freezer if you need to speed it up, but don't leave it there because it does get pretty hard, especially the crust. And that is a very, very simple peanut butter pie. So thank you guys for watching. Happy New Year to all of you. I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas, and I will see you next time.